What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Wedding Lens Lounge pod. So happy that you are here listening in today. And I've got a really cool guest on today's episode. Laura Lee, I would love for you to introduce yourself to everyone. And we're going to do our best here to try to keep Laura Lee from talking about 10 minutes about herself because I could talk about her all day because how cool she is. But I'll let you do that.
I already told him I have ADHD, so this is gonna go many ways today. But yeah, I'm Loraleah Marie. I'm an East Coast destination wedding photographer. I shoot a mixture of digital and film, and yeah, I like to have a lot of fun on wedding days. It's super fun.
I love it. What's really fun too is that Laura Lee's husband literally like helped to get her whole like setup. She was like, I was gonna record my phone, but
Yeah,
she's got like the mic, the headphones. She's looking like the real deal over here.
yeah. My husband's like an audio engineer, and he's like, "So, are you gonna like hook up this?" I'm like, "I thought I was just gonna do it on my phone." He's like, "No." Like, let me hook this up right quick. So I had these chunky headphones on and a microphone in front of my face. So,
Yeah. She looks more legit than I do.
oh
I
no, no.
come on now. You gotta give yourself some
Oh
credit.
my
Actually,
god.
we're just gonna give your husband the credit.
Yeah, I did because I have no idea how to do all this stuff.
YouTube all day.
Same.
But Laura Lee, when did you start your journey into wedding photography?
So I started probably right out of high school. My mom used to take pictures all the time. Okay, so let me start from the beginning. I'm actually like a third generation photographer in my family.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
That's so
so
cool.
my grandfather was a fashion photographer.
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. He's actually shot for like Gucci and like back in
Oh
the
my God.
70s. Yeah, he was super cool. He died when I was younger, but the only memory I have of him was like me being under that like in his dark room, like underneath the
Yes.
little, camera thing. And then my uncle is also a photographer. He does more product and stuff like that. But yeah,
Okay.
it kind of just like mixed into my
That's so
family a
cool.
little bit. But I never really was interested in it until like right after high school. I actually had this girl, Kristen Minotti. Um, I think her business name is it's House of Ivy now. She took my pictures. And I remember just having so much fun during that shoot. And I was like, this is so fun. Like, I want to do this. And I bought a camera for like 500 bucks and just
Do you
started
remember what it was?
like a Nikon 3200 or something,
Love it.
crop frame. Came with the kit lens.
Love it.
So, yeah, I got that and I just would take pictures of my friends, people I worked with. Like, I was just having a good old time. I had no idea what I was doing. But yeah, and then I moved to North Carolina. And I got introduced to this photographer because I was really interested in doing it. But it was just like a hobby, and I kind of, would do it here and there. And then I had like a regular at work because I used to serve tables, and he's like, "Oh, you have to meet this photographer that I know." And come to find out, he was like a NASCAR photographer, and he used to shoot for like Jeff Gordon.
Oh
And
my gosh.
he used to take me out to lunch, and he taught me how to shoot in manual, and he like taught me all about like the different lenses and the focal lengths and all that good stuff. Like I truly like owe a lot to him. But he did this all for free and just for fun. He was like just he's old enough to be my dad, and he just like
Oh
took me
my
under his
gosh.
wing and just taught me all this stuff, and he really inspired me because like I just saw him like so successful and like killing it, and he told me he made over like six figures a year with photography. Um and I was like, wow, like if he can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it started with him really teaching me how to shoot in manual. And then I ended up moving back home from North Carolina. And within 2 years of being home, I became full time.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dang.
that's crazy.
That is such a cool story.
Yeah,
I love the family piece to it. How you had that generational aspect, and then this guy just took you under his wing and
yeah.
helped you make it
Wow,
happen.
one
And
question. I
then
rambled on way too much.
no, you're good. It is what it's all about. Like people love this stuff, so don't worry about
Okay.
it. Yeah, and then I don't want to cut you off anyways because that'd be rude.
No, you're good.
But today's topic and conversation really is going to focus in on, first of all, how awesome Laura Lee is at what she does
Oh,
in
stop.
the film photography in the film photography realm of things, and just a little bit more focused on how she utilizes that to create the images that she does,
Mm,
that you see on her Instagram, that she shares, and that beautiful storytelling aspect to it. And because I know a lot of people are getting into film photography
Hmm.
these days and wanting to add that to the packages that they offer
Hmm.
and for their clients and their couples. When you were first diving into it,
Hmm.
what were your initial thoughts on why you wanted to offer film photography in the first place?
Yeah, so my uncle like gave me a film camera. It was like a couple years ago. And honestly, when he handed it to me, I was like, I don't know if I want to, I don't need this. You know what I mean? Like, no one shoots film
Right.
anymore. So I kind of put it in my storage closet. And then as film like started to get popular and then like I started realizing I keep seeing all these images that I just love and connect to so much. And then
Yeah.
come to find out they're shot in film. And I'm like, I need this. Like, I want my photos to feel like this, you know? So I went in the storage closet and digged that fucker out. I was like, I am gonna shoot this. I'm gonna start shooting film, you know?
Yes.
I actually like have all my film cameras with me. I figured I'd like kind of give you a little showcase. This
Oh
was
yeah.
like my first film camera, a Nicormat. It's
Oh
a
cool.
more of like a manual film camera, so it took me a while to kind of figure this thing out. You have to like manually focus everything.
Wow.
But yeah, I remember taking that around with me and just kind of practicing. I actually had my friend Tim and Noel. They model a lot now for like content days and workshops, but I was like, hey, I just got a film camera. Like, would you guys want to like come out with me and just like, you know, shoot some pictures? And I challenged myself to only bring my film camera and to only shoot that whole session on film. And I was so
Wow.
nervous because I have never like shot on it before.
Dang.
So, yeah, but I ended up doing really good. And I went and developed my film down at Scott's Photo in Rochester. And I told them like, hey, this is like my first roll of film. Like I've never done this before, and they were super great and like walked me through the whole process. And I didn't even know like what I was doing. They're like, oh, how do you want this? Like, scanned, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, you tell
You
me.
tell me.
You tell me. So they just walked me through the whole process, and now I scan 16 base. So there's different bases, and the bigger the base, the bigger the picture is going to be. So it just depends on how big you want to be able to print your photos.
Okay.
I feel like most of my clients, like, they're printing, like, not more bigger than, like, a 11 by 20 or whatever. But, it just depends because it costs a lot more to, do a bigger base. But 16 base usually for me is safe because a lot of my clients are just, like, viewing them online or they're printing small prints. So usually the 16 base is fine.
Okay. Okay.
But
That's so cool though that your first film camera
yeah.
came from him.
And I was so
Yeah.
excited when I got it back. And I remember him telling me, you actually exposed this like perfectly. And I was like, shut up.
Thank you.
I
Thank
was
you.
so excited. And like,
That's
and it's
awesome.
crazy because I had to shoot manual, so I wasn't used to that. But they came out pretty good and I was proud of myself.
You should be.
Yeah.
So that is really really cool though that you took it upon yourself to just challenge yourself to. You're like, I'm not gonna bring my digital camera as a backup. Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna figure this out and make it work. So if somebody is interested in wanting to add film photography to their packages, what do you think are the first like few steps they should take instead of just jumping in and saying like they're offering it? Like what are some things that you've learned
Yep.
that you would look back and be like, yeah, that was actually really helpful
Okay.
before diving in?
So what I did first is I just started bringing my film camera along to every session and every wedding that I did, and I would just challenge myself to shoot one roll of film. So,
Okay.
at first, like, it was hard to lean on because it was scary, you just didn't know how they were going to come out. Um, so, I definitely relied more on my digital and would just challenge myself to do one roll of film. Because, like, if it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, they're not paying for it. Like, you're just shooting a roll for free. And if it comes out, it's like a little gift for them. So I
Yeah.
did that for about like a year. I'm just kind of shot free rolls. And yes, it's expensive, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just started doing that, and then once I got more comfortable with shooting film, and by then now I have a ton of film cameras. So in that year, I was like, okay, let me get this film camera and this film camera and this film camera, and then by the time the year ended, I had like 6 film cameras, and now I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have a lot. I'm obsessed.
Wow. That's so cool though. It's like when people get tattoos, they just want
Yeah,
more and
but my
more.
biggest advice is, practice with it first, get comfortable with it. And then once you're comfortable and you can lean more on film, then I would say add it into your packages. And there's
Okay.
different ways you can add it into your package. You can have like a hybrid package, which is like maybe you're shooting digital and film. Um, or maybe you're just adding in like a couple rolls. I usually just I have film like kind of built into two of my bigger packages, but they also have the option to add it on. Um,
Okay.
and I feel like that works best. And I give them like a certain amount of photos. So I think in like the one package it includes like 175 film photos, and then the bigger package is like 250 film photos. And then what I do
Okay.
is I just make sure I shoot more than enough rolls to make sure I'm getting that amount and more. You know what I mean? Because not
Yeah.
every single photo is going to come out perfect.
Right. So don't just take 250 photos if you're going to give them
Yeah.
250.
Yeah, so basically on each roll of film you get about 36 exposures, but it just depends if you're shooting, 35 millimeter or 120, because 120, I only get like 15 photos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you are offering, say, like a package where they get 150 film photos, how many rolls are you bringing to ensure that you're going to be comfortable enough to have that many images come out?
Okay, let's do some calculations here.
I'm curious about that.
So
I'm sure others are too.
let's say I'm shooting 250 film photos, right? And then you
Yeah.
divide that by 36. That's about 7 rolls. So maybe I'm gonna shoot about 10 rolls.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, or like maybe I'll just have an extra 2 rolls, maybe, just for like security.
Peace of mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, the more rolls, the better. You know what I mean?
Well, and if you're okay with being fully transparent on cost, like how much does a roll of film cost?
Okay, so that all depends on the film stock you're using, and of
Okay.
course, I use the most expensive.
But you just want to
You
deliver the
get
best,
what you pay
right?
for. Really, yeah,
That's right.
that's a true statement. So I use the Porsche 400 and
Okay.
sometimes the Porsche 800. It's Kodak. That is like my go-to. Usually 400 is like what I'm buying all the time. Um, so basically the 400 stands for the ISO on the film.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so basically I have like here, I'll show you. So this is like Kodak 200. So this is 200 ISO. And then here, I'm just going to show you. This is Porsche 400. So that's 400 ISO.
Okay.
So basically on your film camera, the only like, settings that you're kind of doing are like the shutter and the aperture.
Yeah. Okay. And like, how much does like one 400 portrait film
Oh yeah.
roll cost?
So, yeah, wow, I totally skipped by that, did
You're good. You're fine. You're fine.
Um,
Like you got something else out of
okay,
it. So
so I usually get a pack of 5 for around 90 to $100.
okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the pack, I guess, saves you a little bit of money. But if you're
Yeah.
gonna buy it individually, I would say they're about what, 17, $18 a piece, maybe 20. And
Okay.
Porsche 800 is just a little bit more expensive than that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty pricey.
And how do you then, if you're going to be buying or using, like, say, 10 rolls of film, how do you even determine, and how did you determine what you're pricing that when offering that to your couples for weddings?
Yeah, so basically I would take like the cost of what it was. So like say like one roll is like $20 and then to develop it's like $16. So right there is like, maybe 30 to $40. Then on top of that, you're shooting the photos, that's your time. You know what I mean? So I feel like what
Yeah.
I did is I kind of rounded to around like $125 per roll of film. That's
Okay.
kind of what I
Yeah.
did, and then I kind of just times that, and that's kind of like the price I would
Yeah.
do.
No, that makes
People,
complete
some
sense.
people do more. It just depends on like what you're shooting, because like, the 120 film can be really expensive too, because you're only getting 15 photos. You know what I mean? Um, and then Super 8 film, that's a whole different story. That shit's so expensive.
I have heard it is
That's like fifty
pricey, but
dollars for one thing, and then like to get it like scanned of all that stuff, it's like, I mean, you're spending for one roll of Super 8, you're spending at least 250 to $200.
wow, to get it back basically.
Hmm.
Wow. And so do you take all of that to that place in Rochester that you mentioned?
So I not the Super 8. The Super 8 I'm using negative land. I was using Pro Millimeter,
Okay.
and it's like in California. But
So you have to ship it somewhere.
yeah, I've been using negative land and I love negative land because when they send me my Super 8 back, they send me like the log version, which is like it almost has like a white film on it and you have to like you know do your contrast and blacks and you have to bring it back so you get the color, so you kind of do the coloring yourself, but then they also send you like one that's already colored, so it
Oh, wow.
saves me a lot of time.
Okay.
So they said you both.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never had a place do this, and they're pretty quick, and I don't know, I'm just like, this saves me time, so I'm just gonna go with them.
And then you get both. So, yeah, so like you go back to you get what you pay for,
Yeah, so
right?
basically when you're charging for film, you're going to want to price out because it's always changing too. Like it's only going to get more expensive. So you're going to have to figure out like how much the rolls that you're using, how much are they? How much are you spending on developing the film? How much are you spending like shipping out your film or driving? Like I drive about 30 minutes to Scott's back and forth to drop off my film. That's time.
That's
Time is
time
money,
too.
y'all.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
ain't wrong.
And then it's your time taking the photos. Like you're taking these film photos. So whatever you think is fair. I just kind of sat down and kind of, figured out how much it was costing me and then how much I wanted to make. And that's kind of what I do.
Yeah. No, that makes
And maybe
complete
just add
sense.
another
And
300 on top of that.
like, why not? Let's just do it.
Don't come to me for pricing
Yeah.
because I will make you raise your pricing. That's a whole nother story.
That's amazing. But that's really cool. No, I appreciate the full transparency in that because I'm sure people appreciate
Yeah.
knowing the true cost to all of
Yeah,
that
and
and even the time
your
of it.
film cameras are expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, like, what would be then a good? I do know what you're saying.
I got a big collection now, so I gotta get my money
Oh, you
back.
said you got like 9 or 10 now. You
Yeah,
said
I
so.
got like three Super 8 film cameras. I got, one, two, three, four, five, 35 millimeter, and I have two
Oh my god,
120, and I have some Polaroid film.
that is so fun. I just like picture you when you're like traveling to a destination doing one. Like, which babies am I taking with
Dude,
me today?
so hard. But okay, if you know me, listen, if any of my friends are like even listening to this right now, they know I have like six cameras hanging off of me and I look like a crazy person.
I love seeing the photos of you with it. It's just so fun.
I need to like do like a reel where I like show my whole setup and people are just like,
Yeah,
what the fuck
yeah.
is she wearing?
It's
I don't
literally
even
just
care
a bunch of
anymore.
accessories and yeah.
I
Oh,
used to
okay.
wear like a cute little harness and like cute little fanny pack, and now I'm wearing like, the photography belt, and I'm wearing like this like server apron from my server days. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
Like it's so great though. Like I've got so many of my friends wearing the aprons now because let me tell you, you can fit a lot of stuff in there.
Game changer.
I have this apron
Yeah.
that
Oh,
has
I didn't even think
it
about that.
has like six like spots you could put stuff. So literally like I have my belt. So usually I'm wearing like my digital camera. And then either I'm
Yeah.
gonna have my other digital camera or I'll have my film camera. But if I have both digitals on, then I pop my little Contax G2 right in my apron. Fits perfectly nice. And then
That's
in the
amazing.
other big part, I'll put like my Polaroid camera, and then I could fit like my phone, my batteries, my memory cards, people's lipstick. I mean, everything.
Genius.
I've stuck
Genius.
my like Red Bull in there and like it's don't do
It's
that.
multi-purpose.
Don't do that because
Multi-purpose.
you forget you
Yeah,
have
you're
it
right.
in there, and then you sit down, and then you have a wet apron like I did last Saturday. It happened.
That's so cool. I didn't even think about it. Like it's got all those little pouches,
It's
like from like where the straws and the napkins and
yeah. I'm pretty sure
all
I
that
have it
work.
on my Amazon storefront, but it's like the best apron.
Wow,
Yeah.
genius. Yeah. Hey, it makes it work too. So
Yeah.
and people are gonna just love that you take care of them that way because the apron
Yeah,
works.
and some people are like, "How do you shoot with all these cameras? Like, how do you do film? How do you do digital?" It just works. You just make it
Yeah.
happen. You just have it all on you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, your clients are like whatever it takes.
Yeah. And then throughout the
Yeah.
day, I'll exchange things. So, like, I have two different Polaroids. I like to give my clients Polaroids at the end of the night as like a little thank you gift.
I
And
love that.
it's
That's
like
so cool.
instant sneak peeks. And then it also gives me the space to like, edit their actual sneak peeks. And I'm not the type of photographer that gives it the next day. Like, I take
No,
about
I'm
three
the
to
same way.
3 to 5 days, sometimes little bit longer. I try not to take too long, but I usually give them at least like 200 photos for like a sneak peek. So their Polaroids are like, here's your sneak peek, like today, and then here's your others. But yeah, so usually I'll have like my smaller Instax Evo Polaroid, so I'll have that throughout the day. It has like a memory card in it, so I can print what I want. So I'll have that throughout the day, and then sometimes I'll switch that out, and then I'll switch to like my big like Polaroid Sun 60. I love this thing. It's just really big and bulky, so this in my apron, like you can't really fit much more, but then I'll switch out for this. So then I can kind of give them like a mix of different size Polaroids.
Wow. So, all right, I got a couple questions in regards to just all that. So, first one is, how do you balance knowing when you're going to use your digital cameras versus your film and your Polaroid? Because those are just so many different pieces. Like, are you strategic on like what moments you're going to use certain things for? Just because I'm so interested, I'm like, I'm just trying to capture it all with my digital camera for me at my own weddings. I'm like, I can't imagine like trying to incorporate the other one. So how do you do it?
Have you ever seen like a guy juggling? Like he has 3 things and he's juggling. That's me with cameras.
Like straight up,
literally,
just juggling.
Like, okay, hold on, let me get on this camera. Oh, this camera too, and this camera. I literally am just
you
like,
learn to juggle.
Yeah, literally, you just have to learn how to juggle, and that's it. Like,
okay.
But yeah, there are certain moments I feel like I like on film, like maybe like more the candid moments, mom zipping up her dress, you know, that kind of thing, where it's quiet and I could just kind of pull this out, take a couple pictures, pull this out, take a couple pictures.
You have time.
Yeah. But even like doing details, like, you know, I'll take a picture of the dress and then I'll be like, you know what, I want one with my film camera, take one with my film camera. It takes 2 seconds to go from like your digital camera to your film camera. It's just you have to like get in the habit of doing it, you know? So when I first started film, I could hardly shoot a whole roll. Like, and I've talked to photographers and they're like, how do you shoot more than just one roll? Like, it's just you have to get in the habit of it. You just have to like, you know, I gotta get my film camera out. Like, you know, you just have to get in the habit. And I feel like the more you do it, the more you feel okay to lean on it. Like, I've shot so much film now that I'm more comfortable. Like, I'm okay if I take a moment in film and I miss it on the digital. You know what I mean? Like, I think you just have to get over that hump of like knowing that it's okay. Like, if you don't get it on both, you know?
Gotcha. So it's just coming up with that plan ahead of time and having that comfortability when truly knowing how to use your film camera well.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to be offering it as an add-on or included in packages.
Yeah, and am I, you know, shooting on film during the first kiss moment? Probably not. But am I maybe giving it to like my second shooter? Or maybe they're shooting digital and I'm shooting film? Yes. So, you know, pick your moments wisely because you also have to know in the back of your head that, you know, anything could happen with film. So I don't want to scare you, but
it's good to like have backup.
Yeah.
With the digital.
You know what I like to do too is I like to shoot with multiple film cameras on a wedding day too. Just in case like one has like, you know, something happen, I still have the other ones to work with.
That's true. It's kind of like the dual slots in a you know, digital camera.
Yeah.
You know, if something happens to one of the, like, you have the backup.
Yeah. And listen, we can talk about this because I've made a lot of mistakes with film too. Like, especially like the Super 8 film cameras, like you just they're old cameras. They're from like the 1970s, you know, like things happen. And I've gotten blank films back. It happens. You know what I mean? And you just gotta like roll with it and you gotta figure it out from, you know, there, and you gotta have a backup plan just in case it doesn't come out. I mean, I shot this wedding and they had Super 8 in their package, and I remember I did 2 rolls instead of 1 because, you know, I always want to do an extra, and the first roll didn't come out and the second roll did. Thank God.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. So what was your reaction though when you reviewed the first roll?
Bro, I was sweating bullets. I was like, no, because the first roll, like, it had all of like the details from the beginning of the day. It had the first look and like part of the ceremony, and then we had switched. I think what happened was the batteries died or something in the Super 8, and then we had to use my other one because I had 2. And yeah, it was just a lesson learned basically. But anyway, so the second one came out. So, the couple, I explained everything to them and, they're great. Like, I'm just very open with my couples and I'm just truthful. And, like, the one didn't come out, but luckily I brought an extra. And so you're still going to get a Super 8 film. It's just not going to have, like, the beginning. So I just gave them, like, a free wedding album to make up for,
So smart. Just going
Yeah.
above and beyond.
I mean, they still got a really cute Super 8 film. It just was missing some moments, which stinks, but.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's the honesty and the transparency was so
Yeah,
important.
just gotta be honest. And they were so cool. They still left me
Oh,
an amazing review. They're like, listen, it's fine. Like, it's an old film camera. We understand. Like, things happen. So
yeah.
now, ever since that happened, now I actually obviously shoot double Super 8 film. So I usually have me and my second shooter both shooting Super 8 film when I have to do it. And we're both shooting everything at the same time. So, like, we don't have to get the same exact thing, but like, hey, make sure you get a couple like getting ready. Make sure you get maybe 2 shots from the ceremony. Maybe get 2 shots of this, and then I'll do the same thing. We might capture it differently, but if one comes out blank, we still at least have the whole, like, highlights from at least the whole day rather
Yeah.
than, half the day. So,
Yes.
and, that's worked. So I actually had another wedding that I shot, I think it was last year, and we did the double, the double thing, and one came out blank, one came out good.
Well, you were okay
But yeah, it was
because
okay.
you did
The
it
film came
that
out
way.
great. So it was just like, you got to figure out what works for you. Or maybe you even do like, you have like a backup plan. Maybe you're recording on like, bits and pieces on like your phone or this or whatever. Because you can also apply like a Super 8 filter on it.
Back up. Use the metas or something.
Oh, I actually use this app called Dazcam all the
Huh.
time. So I don't know if you saw my story. I posted like a little clip of like my bride jumping on the bed, and
Yes.
you can see like her feet, and it looks like a Super 8. That was a filter.
Wow.
That wasn't an actual Super 8.
Amazing.
Yeah,
But it's just another backup plan for
yeah.
certain shots if they don't come
And then
out.
my friend Courtney, she actually uses Dazcam for her actual like professional cinematic videos. Like she'll add in like a clip that she shot on her camera and then she'll make it into like a home movie or like a
Uh,
Super 8 and she'll throw flickers of like Super 8 into like her long film. She's the one I learned it from. Like Dazcam, if you don't have it, you need it. It's amazing.
that
You
is
can
so
turn
cool.
any picture or video into like any like film aesthetic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, like you said, you finding other ways to just reassure your clients. Like I've got ways to back up and have strategy around
Yeah.
providing you the deliverables as
Yeah, and
promised.
I'm very upfront with them. Like when they are booking a package that has Super 8 in it or they're adding Super 8, I'm letting them know, like, hey, there is a possibility that, we could get a blank film back. Like, if you don't have a videographer and like you're like leaning on this Super 8 to be like your only film, please don't. Like this Super 8 should be the cherry on the top of your wedding day. Like it should not be the only film that you're looking forward to on your wedding day because this film camera is from the 70s, guys. Like you never
True.
know. You know what
Can't
I'm saying?
rely.
Like, and I'll take care of my clients. Like, if it doesn't come out or something happens, like, they're gonna get something from me. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it is in my
Yeah.
contract or whatever, but like, I'm fair. Like, I'm gonna, give them something else if they don't get the Super 8.
Right.
But that's a
Yeah. And
question
then
I'm always
yeah,
at. Sorry, that's a question I'm always asking them too. Like, do you have a videographer or do you have this? Like, is this Super 8 gonna be the only video? Because
right.
it scares me. Because listen, I'm honest. Just tell them.
No, it's so smart too, because then they have peace of mind knowing what ifs,
Yeah.
the what ifs,
Yeah.
and it's smart like to say like get a videographer if that's something that's truthfully
Yeah.
important to you. But I love that. I love the full transparency because it is like a luxury add-on
It
in a
is.
sense, and if something happens, you're like, hey, there's the possibility of X, Y, and Z.
Hmm.
So, I would suggest you doing this, or we can do this, or of course that's worst case scenario.
Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
so smart. I
Hmm.
love it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, do you have like a recommendation on if someone wants to get into film photography for weddings, like a good starter one?
Yeah, so I feel like I ended up getting like this little Olympus Trip 500. And this was just like a point and shoot. You just load the film, you turn it on, you take pictures. It's very easy to just pull out and you don't have to worry about like settings and stuff.
Okay.
There's a lot of good ones out there. Like there's like the Canon Sure Shot. Um, man, there's so many. I could probably give you a list if you ever, I don't know if you want to like tag it with this. I don't know.
Yeah,
But if
absolutely.
you want to spend a little bit more money, this is my favorite, most reliable film camera.
What is
This
it?
is the Contax T.
Oh, that was a cool sound.
It's like made out of titanium, and then when you close it, like this metal piece goes over your lens and protects it.
Oh, that's nice.
And then this lens is a Zeiss lens. So
What's that mean?
Zeiss, it's like I'm pretty sure Zeiss is like a Sony lens. It's like
Okay.
really good glass, basically. It's very
Okay.
sharp photos. This little tiny camera takes the most amazing film photos ever. Like they're just
Wow.
so clean, so sharp. And this has been my most reliable camera that I have. Like I also have the Contax G2, which is like its big sister. Um,
Okay. Yeah, no
this
kidding.
one is like a little bit more manual. You could change the lenses. It could also potentially have more problems and things you gotta learn. Whereas like the Contax T2, let me tell you, is just the best, and it's so easy to use and it's reliable. I've never had a bad roll of film.
Wow.
I've had
And do you
this.
use the same film as like that you talked about earlier, the Portra 200
Yeah,
and
so I've used all different kinds of film stocks. It took me a while to kind of figure out what I really liked. Like I use, the Kodak 200, I've used XR 100, I've used, the what else is the other ones? The Cinestill 800. I've also like went to Hawaii on a trip and we went to a film shop and they had all different kinds of film stocks that I've never even heard of. So I would just buy in to see what I liked.
Cool.
But yeah, I feel like you just experiment at first. You kind of figure out what you like. What I've learned is Porsche 400, 800 is the best for like skin tones.
Okay.
It's the easiest film to work with. I love the 400 a lot, and I feel like it kind of is this like that perfect film for like a wedding day, whether in your like low light, bright light. So that has just become my favorite film ever. The Kodak 200, that's more of like a warm film. Um, and it's not going to be the best in like low lighting. Um, so you can't push it as much. But another thing I'm learning about film right now is you can actually push and pull your film. What? So okay.
And what does that mean? Yeah.
So
You learned so much.
if I have this Porsche 400, oh that's 200, whatever. Porsche 400, right? I can put this in my film camera, and then I can set on my camera that I'm actually using Porsche 800. So I can trick my film camera to think that I'm using 800 instead of 400. So say like I'm shooting in a really dark like situation, I can actually put this roll in and like trick my camera, and then when I go get it developed, I just tell them I want it pushed a stop basically,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I want it to be 800. So you can push and pull your film.
Wow.
But certain films don't do well when you push and pull it. Like I guess like the Kodak 200 doesn't do well when you push and pull it. Like if you go from 200 to 800 or 400, it can look muddy.
Okay.
But Porsche
Okay.
400 does really well like in
Wow.
800. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Dang.
wow,
You know so much about this
all
stuff.
I need is my Porsche 400 and I could just like push and pull it if I need to. Like
It's like so diverse in the abilities of that. That's really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so it's been great. Also, what were we talking about again? Because I have a brain fart.
I know you mentioned it.
I'm like a squirrel. Like I literally am like talking and I'm like, wait, what were we talking about again?
You answered it. You answered it. I said like what would be like a good starter
Oh
film
yeah, yeah.
camera or yeah, see
Okay,
like you're
yeah,
good.
but
You
the
got it.
Contax T2 is great. Basically, there's just like a few settings on the lens. So you can there's two flash settings. So the single flash is for like if you are, I don't know, it's just like the basic flash. The double flash is if someone's looking at you and you don't want them to have red eye. So the only time I'm using the double flash is if I have people looking at me.
Like a portrait or
But
something,
what
yeah.
happens is the double flash, it delays, like it takes the picture and then it takes the picture. So it flashes and
Oh,
then it,
okay.
it will actually take the picture. So anytime I have someone looking at me and I'm using the double flash, I have to tell them, hey, just let you know when it flashes, stay still because it's going to take the picture right after.
Okay.
Like a 2.8 setting, like a f-stop 4, 5.6, 8, 11, 16. So basically on this camera, you're just setting your aperture
Okay.
and basically just
Wow.
taking the picture. Like it's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, you're like making me want to get one.
loading the film is so you just pop it in, put it over. It's great. So the one thing about the Contax T2, what you will see is sometimes like when you get a roll of film back, you might have one or two pictures out of focus. But other than that, everything's great.
Amazing.
Like that, if you want to spend some money, this little guy I think was like $1,200. But
But that's worth it.
yeah, and to buy these, you're probably going to go on eBay. And my suggestion is when you're buying one, just make sure it's film tested. Make sure that they put film in it, it works. And also make sure that you're buying from somebody who has a lot of good reviews and they've sold a lot of things, you know?
Okay.
So,
That's good to know.
and just let you know, it's going to come from Japan. So,
So it's gonna take a little bit,
so
or
contacts are made in Japan. So, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know if I wanted this from Japan. It's coming from Japan. Unless you
deal
can
with
find it at like a camera shop. So,
right, right.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
just suck it
if
up.
I could tell someone one camera to get, contact, or yeah, the Contax T2.
Contacts teacher.
Yeah, that the
All
camera will
right.
just not fail you. It's great.
Well, it sounds like it's your like go-to.
It is. Now it is a little bit slower. Like when I'm using flash, I take a picture, it has to like buffer before I can take another picture. So that's
Okay.
one thing that stinks, you know. But it's so small and tiny. You can put it in like your fanny pack, your apron that you're gonna
Apron.
get. And it's just so small and great, and I love it. The Contax G2, this is the one I use a lot. It's
You see the
just
spider holster attachment there, so I believe it.
yeah, yes. So I use this a lot, but there is some things that you just have to make sure, like, you know, there's a lot more buttons that you can mess up. So I'm constantly making sure that all my buttons are where they need to be throughout the day. Like I'm constantly like, okay, is this where it needs to be? Okay, cool. Like throughout the whole day. Because let me tell you, I throw this in my apron and I've had like this button slip where it went to manual focus instead, like it went down to manual focus. I've done that before where I got 3 rolls of film that were out of focus. I'm
How
like,
fun for
what
you.
the fuck? Is this camera broken?
Yeah.
And
Damn
then
it.
I looked and I was like, oh my god, it's on manual focus. What a fucking idiot. All right. So, but yeah, you just want to make sure it stays in AF.
That's amazing.
And then there's also this other button where you can take like a single shot or you can take like multiple. And there's also a timer. So I've also put it on the timer on accident. And I'm like, why isn't it taking the picture?
And then it randomly will.
And then the timer was on. I've also tried to take a picture and the cap is over my lens. Why is this taking so long to take the picture? Oh, the cap is on my lens. Great.
You have
And then
literally endured every mistake.
yes. And then I also have this little flash that goes on top. Make sure your
That's
flash is all the way connected and then you lock it, right? If you're in a hurry and you don't put your flash all the way on so it locks, your film will be messed up. I've gotten 5 of those. It's not fun. So, but this is one of my favorites. Like I love this camera. Like it's fast. It takes like great photos. I love it.
Okay.
But I also hate it.
Because of all of the things you just talked about.
Yeah. But just gotta practice. You gotta, you know, make sure you have like a backup option. Like I always bring the Contax T2. I make sure I shoot a couple rolls with this along with my Contax G2. I also bring my little Hoga sometimes and
All your babies.
I have my Mamiya, my little 120. So I like to take a mix of different film photos, you know, just in case.
That's so cool.
It's okay though.
Yeah.
You can start with one film camera. That's fine.
You do not have to bring 4
Just
on
get
your
the
first time.
Contax T2. Or just get a little point and shoot like Olympus, you know.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
little
just start
Olympus was
somewhere simple.
like $80. I think I got it on like Etsy or something. I don't know.
Not Japan.
Not Japan.
Like it will come a little faster and it's US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say to sum up this question that got so long and even to thought is just get a point and shoot. Start out with that maybe. Or if you want to start with like a more manual film camera that's more challenging, you can also do that. You have to kind of use the light meter to like meter the light and stuff. But for me, like this is just not a camera I'm going to bring on a wedding day. Because I'm moving really fast on a wedding day. Like I don't have time to like sit there and like manually focus and meter my light. Like no, I want my Contax G2 where I can just do aperture priority and I can just throw it in like 2.8 or 5.6 and then I could just let the camera do the rest of the work.
Then you're good.
Yeah, but there
Yeah.
are those times where you want to maybe be more manual with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I have learned more about film
Oh,
photography in this one
yeah, and
conversation.
also with this camera too, you can push it, like push the stop. So like if I want to throw it in +1, that would help me make the light a little bit brighter too. Yeah, so if I'm
Hmm.
like in a situation like maybe I have the bride by the window, maybe I want to push that to like +1, and get a little bit more light.
Okay.
So you can kind
Nice.
of I like doing that better than having to push my film. Because if you push
Okay.
your film, you're pushing the whole roll.
Right. Right. Gotcha. Yeah. So you want to be like image specific when using that.
And that's another button that you can mess up.
So you literally gotta like check all your buttons every time you pull it out.
I've made all the mistakes with that camera, so throughout the day, like every time I pull it out of my like apron or my holster, I'm checking it to make sure everything's where it needs to be before I take the picture. Whereas the
So smart.
Contax T2, you just pull it out, you turn it on, you take your picture.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That one sounds great.
Literally, I've talked to so many photographers about film cameras. Get that camera. It is the best.
Okay. The Contact C2. I mean, it sounds from everything you've shared, it's a great, great film
Yeah, and I
camera for
can share
anybody
with
getting into
you
it.
like a link of like pictures I've taken with all my different film cameras. I don't know if you can share it with a podcast or something. So
Yeah, I could put it in the show
yeah, because
notes.
then I can like show pictures of what I've taken with the T2 versus the G2 versus the Olympus versus the Holga versus the Mamiya versus the Nikon. Oh, I didn't even show this. My little Nikon F4 here. I don't really use this much. It's
Do you have
way
like
too heavy.
actual? Do you, oh, yeah, I mean, it seems like based on how your wrist.
Bro, this thing is heavy. This girl stays home.
Just for decor at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that would be really cool. I think people would love to see, yeah, the difference between the different types of film cameras and see which one they're drawn to more to
Yeah.
maybe invest in if they want to get into it.
Yeah, and I'm
I
open
will.
to talk to anybody who wants to reach out, wants to pick my brain on film. Like, I've only been doing it for a couple years. I don't know everything. I'm also still learning little things. But you just gotta like hop into it and just, learn on your own.
Yeah,
Honestly, I YouTube. YouTube is what I've used the most. Every time I get a new film camera, I'm on YouTube for like hours. I
amazing.
watch every
Yeah,
video. Like on the Mamiya 645, I've watched every video. I want to know
wow.
how they use it. Like, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. When I got this camera, I'm like, I don't know how to use this. I mean,
But honestly, it's good to know because a lot of people like they just want to know right away,
yeah,
but they're showing you invest hours of time on each
yeah.
one.
And I did find this camera at Scott's Photo, by the way, Scott's Photo and
Oh.
Film. Very,
So you
very,
said it's in Henrietta,
Rochester.
in Rochester. Okay,
I don't know where. It's like, I don't know. It's
you
farther
just know how to
than,
get there.
yeah. Exit 20. But literally, I love
Okay.
Scott's Photo. They're so great there. Like, they're so nice. They don't treat you like you're dumb. Like, and also, I feel like they sell things at a good price. Like, they do sell, like, some film cameras. I know that there's new owners now, so I'm not sure how much of, like, film cameras they have. But, like, they're not one of those, like, camera shops that are charging you an arm and a leg and, like, they're ripping you off. Because I've been to those, and Scott's Photo is not like that. Like,
That's really
I
great.
always would like see a camera at their shop. I'd go in the car and I'd do all this research on how much it's selling on eBay or this and that, and they always had it for a great price.
That's good. Yeah, you gotta love that
So
honesty and
if you're local to
care.
Scott's Photo, go in there and pick their brain. Like I've picked their brain a million times. They know me there,
Yeah, they're like, oh, here comes Loraleah.
and they know I like to buy shit. So they're like, "Ooh, look what we got!" Oh, I bought this there too. This is my little pop up
Oh my gosh,
Polaroid. This is my SX70, and
it's just so fun to
it
look at.
folds down. Yeah. This one
Oh,
is a manual Polaroid.
oh
So you have
wow.
to manually focus. And then I have these like flash attachments that go into it. And let me tell you, this Polaroid is a hard Polaroid camera.
Uh,
So I don't really use it that much, but it takes really amazing like film, like Polaroid. Like they're just so nice. When they come out good, they come out good.
okay.
But I will say I love my son's Sun 660 the best. It's just easier to use and
Okay.
faster. I like fast.
We like convenient.
Yeah, you just
That is
figure
so
out what
cool.
works and doesn't work.
Yeah, that's life,
And I
right?
just like small things, not heavy things, and things that,
Well, you only have so much room in your apron,
yes,
so
true. I'm like, will this fit in my apron? I literally like panic. Like I'm just like trying to get everything in my apron. I'm like, do like I literally even have I shoot off camera flash a lot too. So I'm like throwing my flash in there and I just have it all piled. And then I'm trying to like get something out of it and it's like kind of stuck in there because I have so much in there.
It almost looks like you're trying to dance,
Yeah.
or you have to
Because
go to
I
the
don't
bathroom.
like to
But
like
it's kind
carry
of,
my backpack.
I hear you.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Using the belt and the apron has been such a blessing because like I don't have that sore back anymore.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
before, when I was using the harness, I had like this camera on this side that was heavier than this camera. And then honestly, like my back started to get like crooked. Like I had to go to the chiropractor. They were telling me that
Yeah.
my spine was like crooked.
Yeah. Well, you're putting all that extra weight on one side, and you're
Yeah.
trying to compensate by pushing against it, and it just, yeah. I also got the spider
Yeah.
holster, and it's a game
I don't
changer.
miss the sore back.
No, no. Yeah, I will never go back to a harness ever.
Yeah. And you're like putting it on like the strongest part of your body, like your legs and your hips. Like,
Yeah.
unless you don't have great hips, I might want to recommend it. But
It does feel weird having this weight on my hips. I
yeah.
won't lie.
I mean, the one
But
thing I do miss about the harness is just when it was just hanging there and I was able to grab really quick. But
yes,
so it does take a second to just unhatch it. But I think you get used to it after a while.
it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous about it at first, but
But
it does make a big difference.
also, when you're doing like detail photos and you're bending down and you're having to lay things out, like you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about your cameras hitting the floor.
Because they're right next to your hip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Game
I
changer.
did notice that difference too. That was very nice.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about like after dinner, like taking the whole harness off
Mhm.
with, like when you're going to eat, and having to like put everything back on.
Yeah.
Just clip, snap, you're good.
I know people feel like they're limited on like outfits and stuff, but I'm just like, no, it's fine. And it's not about us. Like,
No, get over
I like
yourself.
to listen. I like to like look nice on a wedding day, and I like to stand out a little, not too much, but like
You want to know? You want people to know you're there.
I'm wearing this little necklace. Like it's just a spark conversation. Like I just want to show up looking cool and fun and professional, but like, I'd rather just have my gear comfortable and like, not I don't know, not come home with like a sore back.
It does help, especially when you got to sit down in a chair after that and having to, download all your photos.
Yes.
It's nice to know you can just sit and you're not going to be whining.
I mean, I would have to come home and
go to
take
bed.
ibuprofen, like, because my back was so messed up.
Yeah. You're saving money by not having to go to the chiropractor now all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you have like a little Holga, by the way?
Do I?
Yeah.
I have.
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Really?
For real.
Oh my god. This is so exciting. So this Holga is like a 40. Oh my god. Guys. This is like a I think it's $50. $50 medium format
that.
camera. It's like a toy camera. But let me tell you, it takes great photos. Is that what do you
This is
got?
all I got. Little
That's
cam
cute.
snap.
Is that the one that takes like the half frame?
Yeah, it's like supposed to be like a digital film.
Oh, okay.
Camera. So you literally just like it's just a point and shoot. You hope for the best. It was like $50.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it probably doesn't have the same effect as Holga there.
Holga is so cool, guys. It is so cool. Okay, so this camera, literally $50. You can get it on Amazon. It's actually on my Amazon storefront. So go to my Instagram, go to my storefront. You can get the Holga. And I think I got the one that came with like just like a roll of film. I don't have the Holga that has the like there's ones that have the flash built in, but the flashes suck. So just don't get that one.
Okay.
You can actually put a flash on this, so you can buy one, like a cheap one on Amazon. And the reason why it's all taped up is because you get light leaks because it's a toy camera, right? So it's not something expensive and whatever. But
I
anyway,
hear ya.
there's like these little lines where light can get in. So what you do is once you get your film in there, you tape up all the little spots where light can get in.
Interesting.
Yeah, if not, I mean, you can shoot without it and you'll get all these light leaks, but sometimes they're too much. And I like them to come out a little bit more sharper. But basically, they're on the settings here. There's like, you're shooting one person, you're shooting 3 people, you're shooting 5 people, you're shooting a mountain. So it's kind of like your f-stop.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
basically you set that and that's it. And then you literally take the picture. Oh, and there's like a setting here where it says mountains or sunshine.
That's nice.
And listen, I'm going to send you pictures of what I've taken on this. They are so cool. And you can also do double exposure with this. So
that's cool.
if you take a picture with it, you just don't like expose to like the next one. You just take another picture on top of it, and then it will make it double exposed.
That's fun.
Yeah, and then when you get them back, they are like these like cool little square photos, but you can crop them in. So I usually give my clients like this actual how it came out, like the Holga, because it has like this dark rim around it. But then I also crop them in and make them look cool. But this is also a nice little film camera you can get, and these come out a little bit more messy and like more old film looking, which I love.
That's cool though.
Yeah,
it's just a different look.
Yes. So if you want just to have something fun and cheap, like get a Holga because they're super fun.
Love it. That's cool.
Yeah.
I love the diversity of the film cameras that you have, and that you intentionally use them for different ways, but they also have just different looks
It's
too,
so
which
addicting.
is fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, film cameras they do have a different look and a vibe, and I don't know. Like I'm a person that likes like diversity, and like I like a mix of things. Like so like my albums, like even when how I edit, like I'm not sometimes sticking to just like one preset or one look. I'm basically editing based on the mood and how it felt. So if it's like golden hour, your photos are going to be golden-y, you know what I mean? Or if it's blue hour, they're going to feel more blue. Like, I don't know, this is how I do things. But basically film cameras kind of, the coloring is kind of like the same way.
That is so cool. Well, I truthfully have learned more about film photography in this chat than I ever thought I would. I just thank you.
You're
welcome.
welcome.
For sharing everything. Have you ever, just like a couple more questions for you, have you ever shot an entire wedding just on film, or is that a dream of yours, or do you like sticking with the mix of it?
Honestly, I prefer the mix.
Yeah.
I just feel, I guess I used to say, oh my God, it'd be so great to shoot a whole wedding on film. But then again, if I was just hired as their film photographer and they had a digital photographer, yes, I'll shoot on all film.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think it's good to still have the mix. Just because the security of digital and how film, you never know. You know what I mean?
Right. No.
A whole wedding on film, yes, if they had another photographer shooting digital.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair. And Loraleah, if people want to connect with you and find you on the socials and be able to check out your work, where can they do that?
Instagram. I live on Instagram, and no, I'm not really on TikTok. I'm older. I'm an older photographer, so
I know we're like getting older
I
and older.
I need to get on TikTok. I do. It's where our our clients that are going to be in like 4 or 5 years, that's where they are. So I feel like it is a place where we need to like transfer to. I also feel like YouTube is coming back. Yeah. Like my nephews, they live on YouTube.
Wow.
Don't sleep on YouTube. I'm sleeping on YouTube. I can't sleep on YouTube.
That's fair.
So but yeah, amazing. Instagram.
And I'll put all that. Yeah, I'll put all that in the show notes where they can connect with you and everything. Yeah. Loraleah Photo.
Tell her.
That way, but seriously, thank you so much for coming on and sharing everything about film.
Of course. I honestly could do a part 2 because like there's just so much that goes into this, you know?
It'll happen. It'll have to happen.
But yeah, I told you I was a blabber. Like I just talk and then I forget what the question was. I just keep talking and then I'm like, wait, what was the question again? Because I just kept talking.
But you did, I will say, you did answer it every time.
Yes.
And then you just added more value to the answer.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. But seriously, again, thank you so much.
Of course.
Can't wait for everybody to listen into this episode. There's so much good insight, especially those who are just trying to learn about film photography, who are interested in getting into it. You just brought so much value and wisdom to this conversation. So thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I love your podcast.
Oh, thank you.
I listen to it all the time.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that means so much.
When I'm driving in the car, I'm like, ooh, but this you're great at this.
Oh, thank you. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like my creative outlet in a way.
It's great.
To have these conversations.
You're very good at it.
Well, I appreciate that.
And I'm going to keep listening. Everyone keep listening.
Thank you. I just love being able to put out these conversations and people just like learn how great these other people are.
Yeah.
And
well, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you thought it was so cool to be on your podcast.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? I just love your energy. I love seeing you and Guy's House always just living it up.
Courtney is the bee's knees, okay? That's my best friend.
Guys, how's I mean, she's so
She's
talented too.
amazing. Like
Yeah,
amazing. And
so I guess I have to get her on too.
yeah, I feel
Maybe you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get you
oh
both
my
on
God.
together at the
We
same
would
time.
love that. I feel
That
like
would be
she
fun.
doesn't get like the notice that she like should have. Like I don't know. Like I feel like she's just so amazing. Like she's so talented. And that's another thing whereas like followers like they really don't matter. Like she is further
No.
than photographers who have like, you know, followers. Like she is so talented.
Yeah, she's insane too. Yeah, that would be fun. I
And
just
she's
wanna.
fun. She's just honestly when I bring her to weddings, I warn my couples, I'm like, just to let you know, Courtney makes me look bad. Because her personality is so fun. Like my couple this last night, we love her. We love Courtney. What about me?
You're talking to me about this to my face, but thank you.
They're like, no, 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 we love you too. Yeah, I know.
But we really love
Courtney
Courtney.
did the worm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this one guy did the worm, and then all of a sudden I see Courtney. She looks at me. I look at her. I was like, "You're about to do the worm, aren't you?" She's like, "Uh-huh." She takes off her belt. She takes off her apron because now she wears the apron, and she
I
fucking
love
did the
that.
worm.
That is
Oh, and we do the
incredible.
white chicks dance. When
You know
Trippy
what?
comes on, we just started
Uh,
doing that.
I just love that.
It's
I have
fun.
no
It's our
words
party
for that
trick.
energy.
I always get
Yeah.
nervous before I do it. I was like, "Are you sure we gotta do this right now?" She's like, "Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, baby." I'm like, "Okay." I shake a little bit, and I'm like, "Okay, let's fucking do this."
Yeah,
And
well,
then
listen, anybody that's seen White Chicks will value that so much.
oh my,
So,
we don't do like the jump over thing. I mean, we should learn that, but
and like the flip.
we definitely hook our feet and we spin in a circle and people go wild.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you just have to do half of it
Listen,
and people go crazy.
our dance moves is how we get weddings. That is like
But every time I see you post
marketing.
about it, I'm like, yes,
Marketing
yes,
101. Dance.
yes, yes.
Get loose.
People remember
Have
it.
fun. Have some drinks with your clients if you want. I mean, a lot of people are against that. I don't get drunk.
Preference.
I don't get drunk with my clients. I mean, do I sometimes? It just depends on who they are.
After you put the cameras away, you're like,
Yeah.
or
But, you
maybe you
know,
just want the blurry photos.
they're encouraging us to have some drinks with them. You don't have to twist my leg, okay? Like, I'll have a drink with you. I mean, destination weddings, let me tell you. Those weddings we have fun.
Those are-
We'll take tequila shots. We are having fun with you.
That's
But like I'm
incredible.
still professional. Like, you know, we read the room, like we're not gonna just invite ourselves, but you know.
And it's just about the experience, and it's preference. It's like you're being observant of
Yeah.
what makes the most sense, and
Yeah, it's all about
I love
connecting
it.
with your couples and just being real. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's how I get the photos I get. Like I'm just friends with my couples and like
Yeah.
I'm still professional, but I'm still me. And I'm just making friends
That's
with
what they
them.
love
Yeah.
about you. Yeah, that's why they hired
Just
you.
have fun.
Yeah, your White Chicks moves and your killer
I
photos.
just bring the energy. I'm just like, let's have fun today.
That's what people want. They just want professional and personable.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, you're closing out this podcast. I know you gotta go pick up your kids.
Yeah, that. We're gonna close with that time there.
We are.
Well, I thank you so much again, everybody. Thank you for listening in, and I will see you next time.